here's my Cyber Muscles. So this is the Cyber Muscle pack I just released. You can find it linked below. So I included several different file formats, including ZBrush IMMs. However, for this specific video, I want to focus exclusively on the blend file and what exactly is inside of it. So in the blend file, you're going to see this two major collections. This one at the top, this is the straight collection. This is where you'll find the meshes as undeformed as they can be. Now, some of these do have some shape to them, but overall you can see that they're pretty straight. The idea is that you can deform them with whatever modifier or sculpting tools that you want to use. So if you want to start from scratch, you'll use that collection, but I'm going to hide it for now and I'm going to focus on the deformed collection. So some of these have a lattice modifier that you can basically interact with like this. You can also move it up and down because there is no parenting. That's how I set it up. And all of these actually have a curve modifier set by default. So all you have to do if you're using Blender is make a selection, Control C, Control V, paste it in some other project file that you're running at the same time, and then just start making changes for yourself. So that's the idea behind this pack. The modifiers transfer over and they're already set up for you. But that doesn't mean that you have to use these. You can set up any sort of deformation modifiers that you want. So the promotional images say 27 muscles and 70 variations. What exactly does that mean? If we use these three right here as an example, my favorites, you can see that they're pretty similar. So I consider these three to be one out of those 27 cyber muscles. But there's three variations. There's a short one, there's a long one. This one is just a little bit different. And a lot of cyber muscle designs here around the center are very similar. They only change in size. So again, this would be one, but we have a short one and then a long one, things like that. Now, variations don't always have to do with the size. So let's use these as an example. Here, the only thing that's changing is this pattern in the center. So I have a plain one so that you can model anything you want or add some decals. I have this one, and then finally this one, where I imagined what it would look like without this outer shell. But again, I consider all of these to be one out of the 27. Over here is another example. So here, the body is all the same, but the only thing that changes is the connector. So this connector looks very good from a front or at an angle. This one's a little bit more abstract. And then finally this one looks best from the top. So it's really just a way of giving you different sets of options. Ooh, I forgot this one had some emissive lighting there. Finally, I have a collection with just the connectors, so it's easier for you to mix and match and maybe create some combinations of your own. So you can model anything you want, and then maybe just add whatever connector you think looks good. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because at the end of the day, this is simply kit bash. You just want it to be good enough. So having these right here is very handy for you to just mix and match different designs and see what looks best. In the main blend file that's included, because I have two, you have this. We have a body, and then we'll have a connector at the top or at the bottom. This is to facilitate two things: either deleting them when they're not visible, depending on how they were placed inside of your design. You might just want to save yourself some polygons there, or if you want to experiment, that way you can also just delete one and then add something else. That's why I separated everything by connectors. So I'm not really going to finesse that right now, but I did have a similar example right here. So I did this not to pad the stats or anything like that, but just to demonstrate that none of these connectors was actually designed to go with this particular body. But as you can see, it looks pretty good. And it's not even subdivided yet. We have 0 subdivision levels and smooth shading, so these will look better once we subdivide them, as you can see. So I invite you to experiment and definitely make combinations of your own. So that's everything that's in the main Blender file. In the secondary Blender file, the only thing that changes is this. All the pieces are merged into one, so you don't have to individually select connectors or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure that's everything. It's a beautiful pack. It has quad-based topology, so there are no n-gons. It deforms and subdivides really well. So if you're interested, check it out. So thanks for watching.